Here we are at Camp Kotok 2024. It's Bill Kennedy from the Global Interdependence Center. I'm here with Chad Seegers from Houston. Chad, great to see you.
Great to see you, Bill.
First of all, how was the morning of fishing?
Most smallmouth bass I've ever caught in my life, actually.
Is that right?
Yeah, every cast, if not every other cast.
And in this particular part of the country, all smallmouth go back into the drink, right?
They do.
Right?
They
But
do.
there are some fish and perch and other things that we're bringing out for lunch. But was it a good guide or just good luck?
No, guide was amazing. If I came up here on my own, I'm calling Brett for sure. He assessed the situation, talked to me about being a Texas guy. We have largemouth down there; they don't fight as much, and so immediately said, "Hey, look, we're not going to fish for perch. Let's go smallmouth."
Absolutely.
Had a good time.
Good. So tell the audience a little bit about your firm, what you're doing. You're growing rapidly based on our conversation.
Yeah.
Help us understand the planning work that you're doing.
Yeah, appreciate that. We're in Houston and San Ramon, clients across the country.
California, San Ramon,
San
California.
Ramon, California. Financial planning focused firm. We deal mostly with professionals and execs that are nearing retirement and want true financial planning work. We handle the internal asset allocation and then work with guys as well, like Bill, on implementing that action as well. And so we're also looking at advisors that are nearing retirement age across the country. We've got some age issues, just like they do in oil and gas, unfortunately. And so, our thing is we want to work with genuinely good people. That's why I love the GIC. People are up here for the love of the game.
Absolutely. So one of the things we always are curious about in dealing with wealth is, finding those hassle factors that executives or your clients might be trying to address. So tell us long term, what's the consistent theme that you're seeing of what your clients are trying to address in that planning process?
Yeah, short-term emotional fear is a big one. Intermediate-term data, longer-term data, zooming out and taking advantage of that time arbitrage that we humans get so focused on. What's going to happen with the election? What's going to happen with the tax code? People forget there are going to be very, very profitable businesses that will do what they need to do no matter what the environment is and navigate through that situation. So I think the thing that's lost on a lot of folks is the behavioral aspect. And from my perspective, you have to educate people about the times that we're in. You have to include thematic data based on stuff that people are hearing inside an echo chamber, and zoom out and give them some context that this isn't the first time we've been here before. It's called some different things and there are different emotions around it, but typically you've been through it with a different name.
So a lot of behavioral finance that comes into your practice and helping through. So today's August 15th. The first week of August, we had probably one of the record volatile trading days in history, right? A number of things took place to create a huge spike in the VIX. Were you getting calls from your clients?
No.
Okay. No. You have them trained, you've got them coached, and
yeah, it's surprising. You get a few calls from the same kind of 3 to 5 people that we look at as the bellwether.
Yep.
And the reality is we've been talking about increased volatility heading into the election just based on history alone. And lo and behold, the conversations that we have with clients is, well, you guys have been talking about this for a quarter now, and here it is.
Right.
And so we try to prepare people for volatility instead of pretending that it doesn't exist. And when it comes up, it's a realization that you should be taking advantage of these events rather than running for the hills and going to cash and whatever else you can do.
So one of the big topics we're having at Camp Kotok this year is around deficits and the debt, and how the fiscal policy might change no matter who's in office after November 5th. What's your view on the tax code, on the state of taxes? What could potentially happen to taxes going forward from either estate planning, estate tax standpoint, or otherwise?
First one, be proactive on the estate planning front specifically. It's not so much at least at our firm, it's not so much the estate tax that is the issue. It is the very real aftermath after someone passes away and things just simply are not in order. You want to make sure your loved ones are taken care of and they understand what the plan and the strategy is around that. So the tax issue for us is secondary to having your loved ones prepared, having your spouse prepared, We unfortunately get that call a couple times a year within our firm. And so you just simply want to have your loved ones prepared for the event that inevitably happens, and none of us can predict it. With respect to tax policy, it's questionable whether or not it's priced into profit margins and U.S. companies. The structure of the U.S. economy hasn't fundamentally changed in 80 years, depending on who's in office, red, blue, or otherwise. And so I have to believe it's not going to fundamentally change moving forward. It happens at the margin, and there will be certainly an event reacting to whatever that tax policy change may be. I prefer to use that as an opportunity, and use that opportunity, meaning from the emotional investors that exist within our marketplace. Use that to your advantage, knowing that longer term companies are going to do what's in the best interest of the company. So you have that on your side as an investor.
Makes sense. So, Chad, if somebody sees the video, they want to contact you or your firm to learn more, what's the best way to reach out?
Great. Insight to Wealth, the number 2wealth.com.
Okay.
We've got a great team, Erica, Christina, and otherwise that book meetings with myself, my partner Brian out in California, depending on where you are. It's great now with technology. We're working with people across the country. They don't have to physically be in Houston or San Ramon.
Chad Seegers, fisherman extraordinaire. Thank you. It's great to see you.
Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.